Good morning, this is Austin Buchiane again, and today I'm going to talk to you about Holy Week. This week is Holy Week, and let me give you a quick overview. It starts with Palm Sunday, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, where people laid down palms on the street and bowed down to him. Following that, on Passover, the disciples went to a man and requested to use his upper room for the Passover feast. At this feast, which you all know as the Last Supper, Jesus tells everyone that on this night someone will betray him. I am going to now read from Luke chapter 22, verses 19 through 20. And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, "This is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me." You have all probably heard this when we take communion. The Reverend will say it before we take communion. We remember the Last Supper where Jesus was betrayed by Judas. We all must remember what Jesus suffered for us. Something I find interesting in the verses you heard was that as Jesus was asking God the Father, "Take this cup away from me," in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, maybe he didn't want to endure the pain from the cross, but God the Father gave him the strength to go through with it for all of us. Remember the verse where Jesus says, "The flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing"? So when you feel like nobody cares about you, you are down or depressed, remember Jesus went through death and betrayal for all of us to be forgiven. We must remember that our sins are in the past. The slate is wiped clean. I like a saying that I heard. It's that we need to look ahead and not backward when thinking of past sinful thoughts. Think of it like our future is a windshield in a car, because the windshield is so big and looks forward. However, your rear view mirror is so small and looks behind you. We don't need to look at that rear view mirror as much as the windshield. We need to look forward through that windshield at our future. If you have a few minutes tonight, I suggest we all together pray to God and Jesus, thinking about Jesus' death on the cross this week. Something I've been thinking about is if I was asked to go through something like this myself, how would I feel? I'm really not sure how I would feel. This is not something I really thought of deeply, but I could never expect what Jesus would have done. Of course, I'm not Jesus, but I just wanted to give a little perspective for myself and see what would I have thought. And every time I think of this, I just think, I don't know what I would have done. It's such a hard thing to realize until you see those nails going through your hands, Jesus' hands. So please remember that Jesus died for all of us, and after Good Friday we will have Easter Sunday where the Lord has risen. And remember that He has forgiven us of our sins. Amen.